you open that door. Why don't we just talk about the opening match? And of course, there were multiple competitors, but the one who immediately stood out to people who naturally have never seen him before, the majority of the audience, was AAA star Mr. Iguana. And at this point, the majority of the audience appeared to write to us and say, I can't wait to hear what Jim says about this.
Well, he looked like a green gold dust. If you can visualize this, folks, for those of you who were lucky enough not to have to see this, he's completely either in a green bodysuit or green makeup on the hands and the face and the bald head and the weird, and he keeps flicking his tongue in and out like he's catching fucking fireflies. And his, I don't know, what would you call that, Brian? Was it a manager, a friend, a companion, a pet? What is the little...
Mine. I don't know. It was a stuffed, I presume, a stuffed iguana, stuffed animal.
Well, not like a real iguana that's been taxidermied, but like a children's play toy. I guess children's plush iguanas are a big seller down there. And, you know, here's the thing. If this was the variety show guy on America's Got Talent or the Ed Sullivan Show, could be in the 50s, could be last year, that does the funny bits while they play the music. I mean, he's talented. He's talented. But this is, I mean, it's not even... I don't know. I still think Orange Cassidy is worse because he's from this country and he's just not even really entertaining in this fashion. This fucking guy, he's like you said about Harley Cameron. As long as she wasn't in wrestling, she ought to be a ventriloquist on a TV show somewhere, whatever. It's just, it's so ridiculous. I can't work up the disdain or the indignance that most people want me to, because it's just almost like I've thrown the last bucket of water that I can on the burning house. I have fucking made the last fucking call for the fire department. We're just standing around watching the fucking smoke rise up now on it's so insulting because if he was just doing the gimmick like a green gold dust and doing his thing, but when the other people work with him in catching and positioning and doing the bits with the fucking stuffed animal, yes, I like it that he can put his toe under it and kick it up in the air and it'll land on his shoulder. Well, that's neat. Fuck. I wonder if he can spin plates and keep them. Yeah, but it's not fucking wrestling. And everyone's going to think Cornette hates fun. You know, maybe, okay, if this was the goddamn fun thing, and it would be so different and so unusual that you could look past it because, but it's just the latest in a long line of fucking dog and pony shows and goddamn circus sideshow geeks. So that's what he does, is he crawls around on the ground like a lizard, flicks his tongue in and out, has bursts of motion where he can actually move around and seems athletic, and then does spots with his stuffed iguana.
The commentators are really putting him over.
Oh yeah, they're going to sell stuffed iguanas. But I don't know. He's better made for the AEW audience, because I can maybe see after a time or two some of the less forgiving WWE television crowds, if they chose to do that on Raw or SmackDown, going, what the fuck? But
if he pops up every now and then, their audience will go crazy. If they overdo it, it'll be another thing. But if all of a sudden they're in LA again and CM Punk needs a surprise partner.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And out from the back crawls the Iguana Man.
What? Stop it. Stop it. Certainly to God, Punk has creative control over lizards in his contract.
There was something so cheap about it that it was intriguing. It was almost like someone went to AI and said, give me an insect-eating luchador. And this guy popped up. Is there a magnet? Is it a magnet that makes it stick to his shoulder? What do you think it is?
Well, no, I mean,
Is he just catching it?
He's catching it. He's got this thing down the way that he's, flipping that thing back and forth. He's like a Harlem Globetrotter with a basketball, except he's got a fucking stuffed iguana. He's worked on this. He's got it down. He's doing it well. He nailed all his shit. It wasn't like one of the AEW fucking indie crowd goofballs that don't even have their shit together. They just try a bunch of shit and hit half of it. He's good at what he's doing. I just can't stand the goddamn idea he's doing it in a fucking wrestling ring.
And this was the start of the show after, we'll talk about it afterwards, the opening ceremony. If you saw any of that, that was a spectacle. But
well, didn't I hear one of the lady that sang the Mexican national anthem messed up the words?
Oh, I don't know.
I believe somebody said that.
It went for a while, and the image of Shawn Michaels next to the sister of Antonio Pena was quite the
my
visual.
God, yes. She looks like a cross between a Bond villain and a Stepford wife, and he looked like a
cross-eyed kid.
Bond villain.
That famous old West gunslinger, the cross-eyed kid.
The cross-eyed kid. I'm going to shoot you and you right between the eyes.
But back to Mr. Iguana.
Yes.
Immediately, there was a Topps card, because Topps has a WWE deal. There was a Topps Mr. Iguana card for the pay-per-view event. They had a vignette video for him on Raw, showing highlights from the pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what you do if you're embarrassed by something or if you don't plan to do more with it. Do you think, I mean, we joke about him being...
I don't think they knew how much reaction it was going to get. I think they obviously knew what they were getting because they put it on the show, and they probably thought, well, let's see if he gets over. I don't know if they expected the level of that, but they've been certainly ready to capitalize on it.
Well, we will stay on top of the Iguana news and see what happens.
But it's at this point, how can I get mad anymore? The cause is lost.
Well, would you be madder if it was AEW? Because at least with WWE, there's a chance you may see little kids dressed up as iguanas buying the iguana merch, and AEW would be for adults.
You got a point there. And also the fact is, if you're gonna shit in somebody's fucking face, make it a good one. Do it well. Place it properly. I'm saying do a professional job of it. Instead of going out and just doing a bunch of shit that just falls on its ass, at least go out and do a professional job. So that's what they're doing here with Mr. Iguana. I don't know what else to say.
Any other thoughts on the match?
No, because all I did was I watched it on YouTube. I'll be honest with you.
Everyone did.
And I skipped through to the parts where the green guy was in the ring so I could see what he was doing. Because again, this is now what WWE, I think another one of their strategies is they say, okay, our only remote competition anywhere near us does wrestling just for people that want to fucking watch guys do a bunch of moves. So now we've got a major ownership in a company just like that. Let's just get these guys over. And maybe we'll get the Hispanic market too. And they don't particularly care about upholding any wrestling traditions. They just want to sell everything they can get their hands on, including, as Christine Jarrett would say, the glasses off your own face.
Anything that gets any kind of social media buzz, anything that gets any kind of buzz that will sell anything, they're going to jump on. That's TKO and that's WWE, and that was the opening match.
As a matter of fact, what is the price of iguana meat per pound these days?
Oh, I don't know.
Do you think they're going to get into the iguana farming business too?
Where is that usually done? Where is that conducted?
Well, apparently now it's going to be up in Stamford. Before, I guess, well, Mr. Iguana, where's he from?
Well, they introduced a mini iguana, like Doink had Dink.
Well, no, I think wherever the home base of iguanas is ought to be where Iguana's hometown is, right? From the,
Yeah, what was his hometown? Did they say it? I don't remember.
I don't remember. I didn't think of it now, but from the iguana farm in Acapulco, here's Mr. Iguana.